In the past couple of months, I've noticed a huge shift in my own personal style. And traditionally, when it came to my own sense of menswear and men's fashion, I always gravitated towards like pop colors. I was always very pattern heavy. I almost had like a predominantly summer vibe, even in the winter. I always gravitated towards florals. I always loved earth tones and tans with subtle pop colors like reds, like teal greens, even some yellows. I mean, I really enjoyed kind of standing out with my style, whether it was pattern heavy or color heavy or even both. But for the past couple of months, this winter season has really taught me to lean less on pattern and color and start to lean more into training my eye to recognize and create silhouette in my outfits, to create drape, to really deliver a visually interesting aesthetic with layering. And with that, I started moving into a lot more darker colors. I started wearing a lot of black. I definitely bought more black garments this year than I ever have in my life. And this entire winter season and so far throughout this spring, black has been my most worn color, which I never really went through like a black phase before in menswear and men's fashion. But at the end of the day, I realized that black and darker colors just happen to work the best with my body composition, the best with my hair color, my eye color. I have darker features as well as an olive skin type. So with that, darker colors tend to work best for me. And that's why I've been wearing them a lot recently. And I felt very comfortable, probably more comfortable than I've ever felt in menswear and men's fashion. But I realized that styling all black or predominantly black outfits is a lot more difficult than people think, even for a seasoned professional. Because when it comes to styling all black, there's literally no hiding it. You can't mask behind a pattern. You can't mask behind a pop color. You can't mask any weakness in styling because literally everything is going to show, and everything when it comes to styling an all black outfit is going to matter. And this is something that I actually had to teach myself this winter, and I had a lot of fun doing it because it was something completely different, and it is something that made me feel comfortable in my styling technique. And it has also taught me a lot on how to style garments outside of the darker color and all black realm as well. And that's exactly why today's video is going to be on how to style all black outfits or predominantly black outfits with a little bit of flair. The biggest thing that I noticed when it came to styling all black was the silhouette. The silhouette matters probably the most because the silhouette is going to be what's going to drive the theme of the outfit, what's going to be sort of the overarching narrative. Do you want something classic and timeless? Do you want something super skinny and tight, a little bit like more modern, futuristic, I would say? Do you want something aggressive and militaristic? Do you want something that's just casual and laid back? There's a lot of different ways that you could go with wearing all black outfits, and it all depends on the silhouette. Now, when it comes to silhouette, it's not always synonymous with the fit, although the fit definitely does have a lot to play with when it comes to the silhouette because, for example, you have oversized leather jackets, you have crop leather jackets, you have skinny leather jackets. I mean, there's quite a few different ways that you can manipulate the same garment, but silhouette more so refers to the kind of cut of the garment. Is it a biker jacket? Is it a coach's jacket? You know, these types of things. Is it a bomber jacket? You kind of want to figure out the overarching theme and narrative with the silhouette, and you want to play off of that. And one thing that I've loved doing recently when it comes to playing around with silhouette, just in my perspective, I've really enjoyed taking heritage style and kind of making it a little bit more casual and modern. So for example, I'll pair it with like a super baggy pant, which isn't super traditional when it comes to heritage style. It's a little bit more present day fashion, but I love taking cues from the past and kind of incorporating them into my outfit. So I'll pair this type of baggy pant with, let's say, like a varsity jacket is a perfect example of how to manipulate silhouette and theme and narrative to kind of drive your own visual aesthetic. And you can also, if you wanted to, throw in like, let's say, like a white t-shirt to bring a little bit of contrast to the outfit while still maintaining that all black feel. And I mean, that's cool too. Or you could throw on a black t-shirt, you could throw on a turtleneck. And this is just like the perfect example of how you can manipulate silhouette into your favor. And going back to the whole thing, this is going to play a part in your outfits because when it comes to fit, if you want something that's more exaggerate, that's going to stand out, really what you kind of got is like the baggy or wider leg silhouettes. And if you want something that's going to kind of fly under the radar, you just want to look good, but you don't want people to kind of stare at you or stare at what you're wearing, you're probably going to want to go with straight or even more slimmer, skinnier fits because those are going to be less dramatic. The thing is, the color black can be very dramatic depending on how you style it. And for a lot of people like myself, I enjoy that a lot. Not everybody does, and I get that. So to kind of minimize the dramatization of the black color and black outfits, a good rule of thumb is the closer it is to your body, the less dramatic dramatic the color's gonna be. And now obviously with that, you kind of want to maintain the streamlined aesthetic of your outfits. So let's say if you're wearing like a slim or skinny pant, you want to wear a slimmer top as well. You don't want to end up looking top heavy by mixing together an oversized garment on top as well as a skinny bottom. And usually the same thing is true with the reciprocal, where if you're wearing something super baggy on the bottom, then you usually want to wear something pretty relaxed on top as well. Granted, I find that this rule doesn't necessarily apply to undergarments because skinny t-shirts and big pants, depending on your build, can look really good, but this isn't always the case, and this is just one of those exceptions that happens to be in style. And a lot of you guys are gonna learn over time that style has a lot of exceptions, but a good rule of thumb is you kind of want to maintain a streamlined uniformity throughout the entire silhouette of the body. The next thing that I learned is super important when driving visual interest from an all black outfit is texture. And here we're talking about fabrics, here we're talking about accessories that drive texture as well. Here we're talking about hardware. Here we're talking about sewing technique. I mean, the thing with texture is that it's going to provide a different kind of luster. It's going to provide a different type of feel. It's going to provide a completely different type of look from one fabric to the next, even though it could be the same exact black. They're going to appear differently. They're going to react to the sunlight differently. They're going to change from room to room, different light to light. I mean, texture is one of the most important things, not just in all black outfits, but in fashion in general. And understanding the differences between textures and how to kind of manipulate them is going to be super important. And the reason why this is so important is because when you're playing around with texture, you want to sort of maintain a kind of balance to the outfit. So you need to understand when you're doing too much texture and when you're doing too little texture. So usually my rule of thumb when it comes to first trying to learn how to style black outfits is you want to keep all of the textures up top. You don't want to do anything too textured on the bottom. When it comes to like the shoes or the pants, for example, you want to maintain all of the texture up top. And this can be done with like fleece sweaters, fleece jackets, mohair sweaters, super slubby t-shirts, heavy textured cable knits. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you could drive texture on the top. You can even go with certain type of leather jackets, and not just leather jackets, but you've also got quilted jackets, padded jackets, things that kind of give off a little bit of like a wavy kind of feel. And this stuff is going to be balanced out by cotton canvases with a simple weave, twill denims that appear as solids, even nylon flight pants, polys. I mean, all of these different types of things. It's just about kind of playing the balancing act with how much you want to do. So I would say keep the textures to the top and keep the solids to the bottom. And that's not to say that eventually when you kind of master the art of styling all black that you can't do texture on the bottom. Granted, this is a lot more of a fashion forward, very eccentric and aggressive look. This isn't going to be for the everyday person, but one of my favorite examples of like bringing texture to the bottom of the body is this brand Labelless, which plays around a lot with textured pants such as their black snakeskin pants and this kind of faux leather, as well as their glittery denim, or even my Alta rain pants from Rains, which are actually a quilted texture because they are padded, they are heavily insulated. And I find that when I wear these pants, I usually don't want to do anything too crazy up top. I keep it very simple, and that's because you have to know when to bring balance. And the last thing that you gotta consider when styling all black outfits to deliver a sort of visual interest is you want to make sure you understand just the right way to layer. Layering is also one of the most important tools when it comes to menswear and men's fashion, in my opinion. Layering is going to completely alter or change an outfit, even with the most simplest of garments, because when it comes to wearing all black outfits, depending on your body type, there can be a lot of empty space visually when it comes to them because you don't really have anything to drive the human eye up and down the outfit. So you want to bring a little bit of that line work when it comes to the layers, a little bit of that intricacy. You need just the right amount of intricacy in an all black outfit to kind of make the human eye look at the whole composition. And for me, when it comes to my own rules for layering, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the thinnest or lightest layer is going to be on the bottom of the outfit, or closest to the body, I should say. This is what's going to be tightest to the body. This is going to be the base layer. And then when it comes to the top layers, you want to start increasingly getting thicker and thicker. And this is what's going to make the human eye start to look at the whole composition. It's going to start to notice subconsciously all of the detail that you provided. It gives off a sense of intentionality, and ultimately it just brings a lot more life to an all black outfit, because at the end of the day, these outfits are really simple, and it's something that's very difficult to make interesting if you don't know the right way to do it. But yeah guys, this is just just what I've learned on my own journey when it comes to evolving my style. And I love that fashion has given me such a facet to learn something new. And if I missed anything when it comes to styling all black, like if you have any tips or if you have any suggestions, definitely let me know. Or if there's any other styling tips that you guys want me to talk about, or if you guys simply don't agree with something that I said, then definitely let me know in the comments and tell me why. And at the end of the day, like I always say, these rules might not necessarily work for everybody the way that they work for me. I can only share my experience. They're definitely going to work for a lot of people, but I don't expect these to work for everybody. But as I always say, the one true constant in men's fashion that does work for everybody is experimentation, experimentation, experimentation. You always want to continue moving forward. You always want to try new things, try new brands, kind of expand your horizons and see what you find. Arguably, to me, that's the funnest part, and you don't want to be afraid of breaking an outfit, because at the end of the day, if you're trying and you feel confident in what you're wearing, you're gonna look better than most other people, just off rip regardless. And it's sad to say that, but that's just the truth. You might think you're breaking, but in reality, you're really putting that on. But anyways, guys, with that being said, thank you so much for the love and support. I have some wicked videos coming out, hopefully by the end of this month, if not by the end of April. I have something truly special for you guys to celebrate 10K, and I absolutely cannot wait. So stay tuned. And with that being said, thank you guys again, and I'll see you next week.